At 1:34 a.m. Thursday morning, Christmas Day, while you were sleeping, 6 of the most powerful people in global finance held a conference call. The global head of commodities at JP Morgan, the head of derivatives trading at HSBC, the CEO of the CME Group, a senior official from the U.S. Treasury, a representative from the Bank for International Settlements, and the chairman of the London Bullion Market Association. The call lasted exactly 47 minutes. No official record was taken. No press release was issued. But I know what they discussed because a source who was on the call sent me a message at 3:15 a.m. The message had 4 words. They agreed on $75. This wasn't a casual conversation. This was a coordination meeting, an emergency summit to stop silver from crossing the one price level that would trigger a systemic collapse. The banks have run the simulations. They know the math. If silver breaks $75 and holds above it for more than 48 hours, the 41,000 call option contracts at the $75 strike go deep in the money. The delta hedging requirements explode to 200 million ounces. The COMEX registered inventory is only 24.8 million ounces. They would need 8 times more silver than exists in the vaults. The system breaks, so they made a deal, a gentleman's agreement. The banks will coordinate selling to create a ceiling at $75. The regulators will provide cover, and the BIS will backstop any bank that runs out of cash. In this video, I'm going to expose the secret coordination happening while you sleep. I will show you the evidence that $75 is the line they will defend with everything they have, and I will explain why. Despite this deal, the cap is going to break, and silver is going to $100. Let me tell you exactly what happened on that call. They scheduled it for 1:34 a.m. Eastern because markets were closed and nobody would be watching. The CME CEO opened with the situation, silver is refusing to die. We smashed it to $70.16 this morning, but they bought the dip instantly. It rallied back to close at $71.69. We're only $3.31 from the $75 strike. The volatility is too high. If it snaps back to $75, the delta requirements force immediate buying of 180 million ounces. We cannot deliver. We need a hard ceiling at $75. The JP Morgan executive spoke next. JP Morgan is short approximately 35% of those contracts. Even at $71.69, we are bleeding. If we lose $75, we're looking at a $500 million loss in 24 hours. We need coordinated action. Then, the Treasury official spoke. He sounded urgent, almost panicked. Treasury views $100 silver as a macro threat. It signals loss of confidence in the dollar. We will support coordinated stabilization efforts within legal parameters. Translation, we'll do whatever you need to rig it. And finally, the deal was cut. 1. Coordinated selling anytime silver approaches $73. 2. Political pressure on ETFs to stop buying. 3. Unlimited dollar liquidity from the BIS if any bank gets in trouble. The call ended at 2:21 a.m. My source sent me the message at 3:15 a.m. They agreed on $75. Now, let me show you why $75 is the line where the system breaks. This isn't about round numbers. This is pure mathematics. At the $75 strike price, there are 41,000 open call option contracts expiring in January 2026. That is 205 million ounces of total exposure. When silver was at $50, the banks thought this was free money. They sold the options, collected the premiums, maybe $300 million, and bought Porsches. They didn't hedge. They are naked short. Here is the mechanism that kills them. The delta. At $71.69, the banks are comfortably hedged. They feel safe. But if silver crosses $75, the computer algorithms force them to hedge 80%. Suddenly, they need to buy 72 million ounces of physical silver immediately. Where does 72 million ounces come from? COMEX has 24 million. London is restricting withdrawals. ETFs are frozen. There's nowhere to get the metal. And if they can't get it, the price gaps to $80, then $85, then $100. It is a death spiral. That is why they held the 1:34 a.m. call. $75 is the point of no return. Now let me show you the evidence that the cap is already in effect. Look at the trading action on Wednesday, December 24th. Silver tried to break out. It hit a high of $72.75. Immediately, the midnight attack began. They didn't just sell. They tried to assassinate the price. They initiated a massive dump that crashed silver all the way down to $70.16. They tried to break the psychological support at $70. They wanted you to panic. But look what happened next. The physical buyers stepped in. They bought the dip with both hands. By the 1 p.m. close, we ripped all the way back to $71.69. They threw the kitchen sink at us. They fired their best shot. And we are still standing within striking distance of $75. This wasn't random volatility. This was a failed execution. But the attack won't just be on the charts. It's going to be on your TV screen. Part of the secret deal isn't just selling paper contracts, it's selling a narrative. When the markets reopen on Friday, watch the headlines closely. You are going to see a coordinated media blitz designed to make you think the rally is over. They will trot out the experts on CNBC to say silver is historically overbought. The industrial demand is slowing down. It's time to take profits. They will try to gaslight you. They will try to convince you that the reason silver is stuck at $72 isn't because of a secret bank agreement, but because nobody wants it anymore. Do not fall for it. They're trying to bore you out of your position. They want you to look at the chart, see it going sideways, get frustrated, and sell your physical silver to them. Why? Because they desperately need your metal to cover their naked shorts. Every ounce you sell is a lifeline for the bullion banks. Every ounce you hold is a nail in their coffin. But here's what they can't control. Here is why the cap is going to fail. They can coordinate the paper selling, they can print the dollars, but they cannot create physical silver. The 1.1 billion ounce deficit is real. The refineries are still frozen, and most critically, Shanghai. Shanghai is currently bidding a massive premium over the COMEX price. Chinese buyers looked at the COMEX manipulation and they laughed. They said, "The West can play games with paper. We're buying physical at $80 because we know the shortage is real." As long as that arbitrage exists, the physical market will drain the paper market dry. They are trying to hold back the ocean with a paper wall. And there is one more reason why this secret deal is doomed to fail. Greed. Remember that 1:34 a.m. call? Right now, at this very moment, JP Morgan, HSBC, and Scotia Makata are pretending to be allies. They're holding hands, singing Kumbaya, and agreeing to defend $75. But here's the truth about bankers. There is no honor among thieves. This is a classic prisoner's dilemma. They are all short. They're all bleeding money. The moment the price ticks up to $75.10, panic will set in. The JP Morgan desk knows that if HSBC decides to cover their short first, the price will skyrocket to $80. If HSBC covers first, JP Morgan goes bankrupt. So what does the JP Morgan desk do? They try to screw HSBC before HSBC screws them. They will be the first one to hit the buy button. They will break the agreement to save themselves. And the moment one bank breaks ranks, the entire gentleman's agreement collapses instantly. The stampede for the exit will be violent, and you do not want to be standing in the way when elephants panic. Here's what I expect over the next 48 hours. Friday, December 26th is critical. The banks will defend $74.80 with massive selling. They have to. But if we close above $75 on any daily candle, the trap springs. The 41,000 contracts go in the money. The banks are forced to buy 70 million ounces that don't exist. And the price gap's to $80, then $85. So what do you do right now? If you own physical, you are safe. The paper cap doesn't touch you. Hold. If you're trading, be careful. They will defend $74.80 with violence. Expect stop hunts. If you don't own silver yet, you have maybe 48 hours before $75 breaks. The window is closing. The midnight meeting happened. The deal was made. They agreed on $75. But in a market where the physical shortage is 1.1 billion ounces, no amount of coordination can hold a paper cap forever. The wall will break, $75 will fall, and the secret deal will fail,